Bonjour. Today we are going to do our verbs which are belonging to actually the third category, the troisième category. You can see on the board I have written that there is ER verbs which are belonging to our first group. Their conjugation is very simple and their termination is very fixed. All ER verbs, they are basically 1255 verbs, and you can just remove the ER, your racine, and that is going to be over here. That is your radical. Racine is going to be here, and then this is your new radical. If it seems complicated to you, you could just see that video of how I solve the ER category verbs. And even your IR category verbs, they are, your racine remains over here, and then with your radical, which is going to be something like this in second category verbs. Now in third group, which is our main problem, is that what I have found out till now, that there is basically more than 21 types of conjugation in this group. So I'm going to solve 7 categories of verbs which are going to be very simple, and not very simple, that's simple for me, not for you. 7 categories of verbs I will solve. I will solve 7 verbs over here, and I will share some verbs which belong to each category I'm going to solve on the board, and there are 16 other verbs which do not belong to any other category. Now I will do the first conjugation, which is going to be like the verb rompre. Now on the board I have written the verb rompre. The verb means to break, like to break the stereotype, or to break rules, or to break up someone's bones. Don't do that. Okay, now the conjugation of this verb will be done with an S with je, and then S with tu, T with il, and T with L, T with O, and O and S with nous, E, Z or EZ with vous, ENT with il and L. Now that is becoming like this, with je, il, L and O. These 3 are having T, and with nous it's ONS, with vous it's EZ, and with il and L it's going to be ENT. Why I have written like this is that the conjugation seems like, oh, it's first category, something like that. No, just see over here. It's not same from it's not same as we do in our first category verbs. It is different. So there are verbs like INTERROMPRE, CORREMPRE, which you can conjugate with this same pattern, with just this same pattern. Okay, now let's just try to pronounce this verb. Je romps, tu romps, il rompt, elle rompt, on rompt, nous rompons, vous rompez, il rompt, elle rompt. I break, you break, he breaks, she breaks, we break informal and it breaks. We break the formal one, you break the formal, they break males, and they break females. Okay, now I will solve the second type of verbs in your troisième group. This is your verb CUIRE. CUIRE has racine of cu, and your radical is IRE. Now these type of verbs are having 3 types of racines. Any verb that ends up with UIRE or FIRE, like CONFIRE, that is your second, and that DIRE, like CONDUIRE. Maybe I'll find out one example for that. Any verb which has these endings, these particular 3 endings, are going to have an S in their plural. And S is added in their plurals. In these 5, there is no S added, but over here, nous is plural, vous is plural, like you both. So you would say vous, or you three, any number. But vous is also plural because there is an S in the ending, so that is also for plural. You cannot use a tu for plural, only vous. Okay, and then il and elle, definitely they are having S in the ending, so they are also for plural. So these 4 are going to have an S in their right after their racine before you start their new radical. So you have to put an S. Like now I will conjugate another verb, but before I do that, I will just try to tell you the pronunciation of this verb. Je cuis, tu cuis, il cuit, elle cuit, on cuit, nous cuisons, vous cuisez, il cuise, elle cuise. So this was your verb with IRE, or you can say UIRE. Now, why did I make CU my racine? It had to be because there is also IRE which is coming in the ending of these 3, and this will keep on changing. So you have to pick up this one from your verbs racine to conjugate. Now I will conjugate the verb confire. I have already written the conjugation. You could see with the verb confire, which I had already told that you will have this part as your racine, but you will be taking F while conjugating the verb. That is very easy. Je confie, tu confies, il confie, elle confie, on confie. Remember, you don't have to do the liaison. Nous confissons. Over here, there is an S. Vous confissez, and il confisse, elle confisse. So that is your verb confire. Now I will solve the verb lire. Je lis, tu lis. Lire means to read. Il lit, elle lit, on lit, nous lisons, vous lisez, il lise, elle lise. You have to be very clear while pronunciation of the verb. You have to be very clear with it. If it's not clear, it's going to be almost wrong. Okay, now third type of conjugation of verbs in your troisième group. Okay, now there are going to be verbs like écrire, like proscrire, transcrire, décrire, which are having actually CRIRE in the ending. These type of verbs which are having CRIRE in their ending are going to have a V letter in their last 4 plurals. We'll see that. And this is a vowel or vowel written word, so you have to be very careful with the conjugation. And I have to, since I've been telling you that if this is your radical, then you will also pick up the first beginning letter of your radical while conjugating these verbs. Okay, j'écris. Try not to forget ever while conjugating this verb or any verb that starts with a vowel with the je like this. Joining has to be there. J'écris, S comes. Tu écris, S comes. Il écrit, il écrit. When you will speak, it will join. It's a consonant which is going to get joined with the E letter or E lettre en français. It's a vowel. And there is a T in the ending. Elle écrit. So no joining, vowel, vowel, and T in the ending. On écrit, consonant, vowel, joining, and T in the ending. With all the verbs you're doing, but there are certain verbs where this is not going to be there. Okay, now in these 4 conjugation which you have done, there is a V coming in all 4 right after your inscrit, 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 inscrivons. In verbs like this, you have to, this is not a verb, this is the your radical. So there is a V which is only added in a CUIRE verb, and V signifies the plural of the verb. So pronunciation is going to be something like nous écrivons, joining, nous écrivons, vous écrivez, ils écrivent, elles écrivent. Écrire means to write, like I am writing. J'écris, sorry, I write. J'écris. Okay, now the verb décrire. Décrire means to tell something, to tell a story. So, je décris, tu décris, il décrit, elle décrit, on décrit, nous décrivons, vous décrivez, ils décrivent, elles décrivent. So that is a verb which is having CRIRE as its conjugation type. These are your 3 different types of terminaison which you are going to follow in your I think 4th category of conjugation in your 3e group. So now these verbs are, I know, starting with a single spelling. I didn't write the verb. Joindre, that is your verb. Okay, craindre means to fear. Now this is, I know, definitely your AINDRE, your termination of this verb. Now you have to remember that in your last 4 conjugation of these types of verbs, you have to add a G right before your N. This whole verbs, all these verbs are having N, that is definite. And doing the conjugation of last 4 parts, do not forget to add a G for goat right in front of your N. That is the simplest rule for the conjugation of the verbs that end up with either AINDRE or with EINDRE, and the last one with OINDRE. So you are going to see these type of words. Even in the description, I am going to give you a list of words like these ones. You could check that. Now, craindre, to fear. Peindre, to paint. Joindre, to join something with something, or to attach something with something. So, join or to add or to attach. Now, je crains, tu crains. Simply added SSTTT. Je crains, tu crains, you fear. Il craint, elle craint, on craint. CR gives you cre, cre. Nous craignons, vous craignez, ils craignent, elles craignent. Now this il and elle were having the sound of il craint, elle craint, but your plurals are having the sound of il craigne, elle craigne. Very different. To fear. Peindre, to paint. Je peins, tu peins, il peint, elle peint, on peint. SSTTT, SSTTT. Il peint, elle peint, on peint. I paint, you paint, he paints, she paints, we paint, or it paints. Nous peignons, vous peignez, il peigne, elle peigne. Right before your N there is a G. Don't forget that. That is your rule. Now, joindre, j'adjoins, adjoint, you have to do it like this with any verb that is starting with vowel in any of the three categories, and the third category verb has subcategories. So these are the subcategories. Il adjoint, elle adjoint, on adjoint, N is going to get joined with your A. On adjoint, nous adjoignons, vous adjoignez, ils adjoignent, elles adjoignent. This is going to get joined, all four, with, because S is the consonant and A is a vowel, so all of these. Okay, now the next category. Fine, we have our two verbs over here. Even I have one verb that is abattre and combattre, like this mettre and battre verb, which are having actually, I want to say, double T R E in the ending. Now take care, while conjugating RE verbs which are having double T right in front of their RE, so what you have to do is you have to drop one T out of two T's in your first 5 conjugation. I mean, in singular conjugation you have to drop down one T, but in your next 4 conjugation with all your plural conjugation, that T comes back. Fine. Okay, see, je mette, tu mettes, ils mettent, elles mettent, on met, nous mettons, vous mettez, ils mettent, elles mettent. So that is your verb. Battre. Je bats, tu bats, il bat, elle bat, on bat. No double T, only single T. Because we have to keep our this T down in first 5, and then in next 4 you have to get the T back. In your plurals, in singulars, I'm telling you again, the T goes. Okay, nous battons, vous battez, ils battent, elles battent. It's to defeat. Over here it's to put. Now I will try to solve the 6th category or subcategory of verbs coming under your troisième category. This is your last 6th subconjugation of 3rd categories. There are going to be some more verbs like prendre, like comprendre, apprendre, rendre. So these verbs are actually having R-E-N-D-R-E type of termination. Now what you do is, in your first 5 singular pronouns there is a D which is going to be there, and in your last 4, the plural ones, in singular ones, the D is going to be there till on, till your on, till your on, the D is going to be there, and in your last 4 plurals, your personal pronouns, when they become plurals, there is no D, but in your 3rd person pronoun there is an extra N going to get added up. You have to remove your D from these 2, no addition, just removal of the D, and from last 2 there is going to be an N that is going to get added up. The verb is prendre. Prendre means to take a photograph. Je prends le photo, or je prends un photo. Okay. Je prends, tu prends, il prend, elle prend, on prend, nous prenons, vous prenez, ils prennent, elles prennent. Okay. If I make it like the verb apprendre, apprendre means to learn, not to take, but to learn. So it is j'apprends. Now it's going to be like this. J'apprends, tu apprends, il apprend, elle apprend, On apprend, nous apprenons, vous apprenez, ils apprennent, elles apprennent. We are done doing this verb and we will follow the last conjugation of this troisième category. You can follow the list of the verbs which are going to match with this type of category. They're in the description. Connaître is such a verb which is having actually the terminaison AITRE. There are verbs like this, like transparaître and apparaître, which are having this same ending. So what you do is you remove this one and you follow this verb with the ending of second category verbs. Yes, you add an is, it, but remember you have to add your accent circumflex, which is in over here in your three personal pronouns. Il, elle, on, third person pronoun. So you have to add it over here. With the nu, it's I-S-S-O-N-S, I-S-S-E-Z, I-S-S-E-N-T, and I-S-S-E-N-T. Connaître means to know. And these are the verbs. With OIRE category of verbs, I will make a different video because there is verbs like pouvoir, vouloir, which I need to explain in brief, which is coming very soon. I will also leave the 16 verbs except this connaître. There is a verb naître. From whole of the AITRE verbs, there is a verb that is naître, means to be born or be born, which is not following this regular pattern of conjugation with AITRE verbs. Naître verb is an exceptional case. So now I'm going to share with you the 16 verbs which are exceptional cases in terms of conjugation. So if you have any problems, you can write that in the comments. And merci beaucoup, bonne journée et au revoir.